Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday, June 17th, 2020, and this is the Flight Sim News. There isn't a heck of a lot to talk about that's super exciting, but there is a bunch of bits of news that we can talk about today. So the first thing is the other day, Thrustmaster posted this cryptic picture over on their Twitter, and it says, "Get ready to fly. Thursday the 18th at 11 a.m. CEST." So I can't really make out anything from this picture. Nothing standing out to me other than the fact that they've got these, looks like desktop mounts right here. But what are they going to put on those desktop mounts is the question. Those look really wide and pretty big. So I'm curious to see what they're going to come up with. I have a feeling by looking at this picture that I don't see any military aviation planes in there. Looks like a bunch of civilian aviation stuff and then the clouds. My guess is going to be that possibly they're going to maybe release some kind of civilian aviation gear. Maybe a throttle and some sort of yoke possibly. But it's really hard to tell. So I'm going to keep covering this, and let's see what happens on Thursday. I'll throw a link to their Twitter feed here in the video description as usual for you, and you can check it out for yourself and keep track of it. So the latest episode of the Fighter Pilot podcast went live the other day. And the episode is on the Mirage 2000. I haven't really listened to this very much yet. I played through some of it while I was doing some stuff in the background, and you know how when you do that, you really don't even hear what goes on sometimes. I only heard a couple bits and pieces of it, but I'm excited to sit back and actually listen to this one myself here soon. And their featured guest is Matteo Carbon, or Matteo, a former French Air Force pilot. So, as usual, the Fighter Pilot podcast is awesome, so I can't wait to check this one out for myself when I get the time to actually listen to it. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual. TrueGrit Virtual Technologies. These are the guys that are responsible for the upcoming Eurofighter 2000 module for DCS World. They've tossed up a few work-in-progress pictures of the 3D art for the cockpit, and then the landing gear, and then it looks like a data cartridge that you can put in the Eurofighter for missions, to be mission ready, I suppose. Pretty cool stuff. I will throw a link to this in the video description as usual, and you can check it out for yourself. So, Big Nui made a post the other day after the recent fiasco and backlash of, having to release 3 open beta patches and breaking so many things. He goes, "Hi all, we're moving to longer patch cycles to enable more time for testing, or testing at all, I would guess. I have updated the patch status post with our next planned date for the open beta. The next open beta patch is planned for the 15th of July. Today is June 17th. So, everybody asked for this. Let's hope they actually come through and make things happen, and things aren't going to break everything by the time they release it." And then this is the post here. "Hi all, to make it clear about planned updates, I will update this sticky post when we have news to share so it's not lost in the discussion thread. Stable version is this, patch notes, next update to be announced. Current version number is this, next update is a hot fix for the 17th of June. So today is the 17th of June. Next planned update is going to be the 15th of July. And then there's a link to the patch notes here, but it's not, the 17th of June update isn't ready yet. So keep an eye here. I have a feeling there's going to be a patch today. Razbam simulations. They posted a few new images on their Facebook page. It looks like the Super Tucano work-in-progress cockpit mesh. So this is the 3D renders of what the cockpit is going to look like in the Super Tucano. In addition to that, There's more Pucara work in progress pics of what their 3D model is going to look like for that plane. And then on the 11th, they just list a couple of the changes that were in one of the last updates. And that's about it from Razbam. They've been a little bit quiet this week compared to the slew of updates they've been throwing out there. All right, guys.
Shake them! Giving engines full power!
Think you can escape?
This is gonna be close!
Alright, guys. So that is a little bit from StarWars Squadrons, the official reveal trailer. Buckle up, take control of starfighters such as the X-Wing and TIE Fighter, and feel the adrenaline of strategic, first-person, 5 versus 5 multiplayer dogfights alongside your squadron. In a fateful campaign set near the conclusion of the Galactic Civil War, learn what it means to be a pilot in thrilling Star Wars single-player story. The New Republic fights for freedom, the Empire demands order. We will need you to join the galaxy's finest. Star Wars Squadrons, available October 2nd, 2020 on the PS4, Xbox One, Origin PC, Steam, Epic Game Store, and VR on the PlayStation 4 and PC with cross-play support. Tune in to EA Play on June 18th at 4 p.m. and watch the gameplay world premiere of Squadrons. This is going to be fantastic, and there's going to be VR support. So I'm excited and a little worried at the same time, because the original X-Wing on the PC is why I purchased my first PC. Now, I've played flight sims on a PC before that, and on Amigas and Atari STs, etc., etc. But I didn't break down and buy my own PC until I saw an ad in like PC Gamer, or was it Computer Gamer World, Gaming World, one of those magazines, and it had a picture of the TIE Fighter game, and I was like, oh my god, you mean I can be in the cockpit of a TIE Fighter? I gotta get this. And then I bought it, and I bought X-Wing and all the expansions, and I remember fumbling my way through DOS trying to figure out how to load a game for the first time. Talk about an enlightening experience. I remember having to call EB Games at the time, and I'm like, dude, how do I make this work? Well, you got to put the disk in, you got to type, C:/ blah, blah, blah. And I was like, holy fuck, all this just to play a game. But then I was in awe. I was blown away. Going back to the original X-Wing or original TIE Fighter games, all the developers that make combat sims today could really learn a lot if they just go back and look at those old games like that and Gunship. Here they put you in the seat of being a budding pilot and walk you through, here's what you got to do. Go do this, pilot. Get it done, Greenhorn. And you really felt like you were part of something. And you made your way through, and you were rewarded as you went through with better ships or better planes, or better helicopters, be it Gunship. That's what we're missing today, and I'm excited on one hand because I really hope that this goes back to the roots of the original X-Wing and TIE Fighter games, because that was an exciting time, and that's when sims in general, and I know X-Wing's a game, but that was the first time we were put into the cockpit, and it really felt like a simulation more than a game. It wasn't as arcadey as Wing Commander, because for the first time you had to manage your energy to your front and back deflector shields, and more power to this or that. You know what I mean? Like, I remember that being way more involved, and if you're looking back today, it was probably rudimentary compared to what we have today, but it was fun, and that's the key thing. And that's what we're missing in all these simulations today. There's no feeling like you're part of a bigger picture. You don't feel like that one little cog in the big wheel, And that's what I'm hoping this game has. I'm really excited about this, but really worried because at the same time, I'm hoping this isn't just the space battles from Battlefront 2 or Battlefront 1. As much as I loved those space battles because they looked fantastic, it was just hard to control. It didn't feel like flying. It felt more like a gamepad game, you know. And this is going to be cross-platform. So this is going to be a gamepad game as well, but I'm hoping it really works well with HOTAS gear. And I read somewhere that somebody said that it will support HOTAS gear. So I'm excited for this, but a little bit worried. And I think I'm worried because I'm so excited, because who doesn't love Star Wars, you know? And there's a lot to learn from those original X-Wing and TIE Fighter games. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, so you could check out this entire cinematic trailer yourself. And keep an eye out for tomorrow to see the gameplay reveal. I'm dying to see what that looks like. Alright, lastly, I found this, which I thought was pretty cool. And introducing X-Wing VM virtual reality support. So X-Wing Virtual Machine recreates the original X-Wing game in Unity, and it will be released as a standalone engine that does not function without the original files to load in. So it's kind of like a redo. And this is footage of the alpha VR version. And let's see, and VR headset using a reverb. Now I turned the sound off purposely because there's, like, you know, Star Wars music in there and I didn't want to get the copyright thing. But for being the original X-Wing, this is going to be kind of cool. I will download this and try it out. And it's going to work in VR, and this is the original X-Wing. I remember those sounds too. They sounded pretty lame compared to what we have today, but I'm excited about this. I have the original X-Wing and TIE Fighter on my PC from good old games, and it's really cool to go back and play them every once in a while. I'll throw a link to this in the video description as usual, so you can check it out for yourself. So that about covers it for today. The last giveaway ended, which was the third giveaway. I haven't picked the winners yet. I'm going to go do that probably tonight after work. And then I will start the fourth giveaway for the Tomcat from Heat Blur and Meteor's System Failure album. So be on the lookout for that. And I want to thank everybody who's entered so far. As usual, please subscribe to the channel. Feel free to hit that like button. And until next time, guys,